Every Christmas, my stepsister opened gifts. I opened envelopes with cards that said, buy yourself something nice. My dad got shot at the grocery store when I was 8, and since I lost him, things hadn't been the same. Mom wouldn't talk and spent most nights away, so the house felt even lonelier. Then one day, Mom came home with exciting news. I'm getting married, she grinned, flashing an engagement ring in my face. I stared at it with wide eyes. Oh, Mama, that's wonderful. What's he like? I asked curiously. He's just like your father was, kind, warm, protective, and he has an adorable daughter around your age. She paused, her face looking even warmer, then whispered, I think we're going to be really happy again. I couldn't sleep that night. I kept picturing it, a dad and a sister. I'd never felt so lucky. But here's where things started to get sticky. I noticed that Mom and stepdad treated us differently. At first, I told myself I was just overthinking things. When Marie offered to clean the dishes after dinner, my parents would tell her to rest up and leave it to them. When I offered, nobody batted an eye. When Marie accidentally broke a vase, Mom said accidents happen and swept it up herself. When I broke a glass, I was destructive and careless and had to pay for it out of my allowance. But then it got worse. My parents gave Marie a private tutor while I had to figure things out on YouTube. They went to every single one of Marie's dance recitals. Not one of them showed up to my debate club championship. There were vacations where they forgot to tell me until I came home to an empty house for a week. Family photos where I somehow wasn't in the frame. And the things they'd say to me, why can't you be more like Marie? God, you're exhausting. Whenever I tried to defend myself, Mom would sigh and say, you're being dramatic. I treat you both exactly the same. You're just too sensitive. Then she'd turn to Marie and ask if she wanted ice cream. Every argument, Mom took Marie's side without even hearing mine. Every mistake I made got weeks of grounding while Marie got gentle talks and second chances. When I pointed out the difference, stepdad looked at me and said, Marie doesn't complain. Why do you always have to be the victim? Then one time I heard it. My stepdad was on the phone in the kitchen. Yes, we'll all be there. Me, my wife, my daughter Marie, and the other one, not even other daughter. I felt my heart shatter. I realized there was no room for me here, so I stopped trying. I wore what I wanted, kept the people who took my side close, started staying over at friends' house more just to avoid going home. I built an entire life outside that house thinking, hey, just survive until college then leave. And honestly, it worked. The less I tried, the less it hurt. I stopped expecting birthday cakes, stopped waiting to be introduced by name, stopped hoping Mom would ask about my day. I became a ghost in that house and things were good. Mom was happy, stepdad too. Perfect Marie got everything. I was free. Then last Thanksgiving, something unexpected happened. I came home from college for the first time in months. I expected the usual. Parents bragging about Marie, me hiding out in the corner of the room without a care. But this time, something was seriously off. Marie barely touched her food. Her eyes looked lifeless. She gave one-word answers. Nobody else seemed to notice. Later that night, I found her on the back porch, knees pulled to her chest, shaking. My first instinct was to walk away. Why would I comfort the girl who got everything I didn't? But something made me sit down. She didn't look at me. She just started talking. I'm really happy you're back. Mom and Dad's happy too, she said quietly. I laughed. I doubt it. She forced a smile. Well, I missed you. Ever since you left, I hadn't been able to sleep much. Mom and Dad have been breathing down my back and she started to cry. I've been having panic attacks every night, she said. I turned to her with a cold expression. How is any of this my business? I'm sorry, but you've had an awesome childhood. You were perfect, the favorite. You had nothing to worry about. She looked at me with a serious expression. She told me how her fear of failure was so intense. It was eating away at her physical health. Then she said something I'll never forget. I spent my whole life terrified I'd end up like you. She told me she knew. She knew exactly how they treated me. She saw the envelopes while she opened gifts. She heard them call me exhausting. She watched me eat dinner alone in my room while they laughed at the table. And instead of feeling guilty, she felt terrified. Because if she ever stopped being perfect, if she slipped even once, she'd become the other one. The one they didn't pick. The one they forgot on vacations. The one they couldn't even say the name of. I sat there staring at her. This was the girl I'd envied for a decade. The girl who got everything. And here she was, shaking on a porch, telling me she'd been running scared her entire life. I used to think she won, and I lost. That she got the love while I got the leftovers. But we were both trapped by our toxic parents. And for the first time ever, I pulled her into a hug. You know, we don't need them. We have each other. She smiled, then hugged me tighter.